This is the critical response to Module 6 for ELPA 6020. Comparing and contrasting two pieces of content from this module. First, the AACC competencies for community college leaders. Secondly, the TED Talk by Margaret Heffernan titled Dare to Disagree. First, to pull out some of the best points from Heffernan's video. She talks a lot about the importance of actively seeking disconfirmation, looking for people around you who will tell you maybe the things that you don't want to hear, but the things that you need to hear, who will take the other side of an argument and make that argument back to you effectively. She gave the example of a medical researcher whose statistician partner said that his job was to prove Dr. Stewart wrong. And the idea here being to surround yourself with at least some people who do feel that their job is to prove you wrong, thereby making your own thinking stronger. She points out here that when you have people around you who are trying to prove you wrong, to think about it in terms of the fact that at least they care enough about the issue or care enough about you to bring forward the opposing viewpoints. And if you can take their criticism and take their feedback in the spirit in which it is intended, at least according to her, that they care and that they want to help you improve, that can cause you to be more receptive as someone who is hearing a contrary point of view. And of course, none of this works unless we are truly prepared to change our minds. If our opponents or those that we've asked to take the other viewpoint, if they make better points than the ones that we already had, are we really willing to adopt their opposing view? She ends with this great quote: "The truth won't set us free until we develop the skills and the habit and the talent and the moral courage to use it." Now, the AACNC competencies for community college leaders have no hint of this idea of contrarianism. They seem to be, at least at the level of the emerging leader, much more about growing your awareness and your general understanding of your institution. But I think to contrast Heffernan's point, we have to ask ourselves the question of whether being willing to articulate that different opinion, being willing to be the contrarian on behalf of our supervisors, is that a prerequisite for leadership? Now, I'm not to say that these competencies aren't relevant. They very much are, but they are very focused on trying to get people moved up to become CEOs. And unfortunately, that's not what we're all trying to do. So the idea that community college leaders is equivalent to the CEO role is certainly of some concern. And then even in their own overall observations, they point out that community college leaders can lead from all levels. But then it goes on in the actual description of the competencies to really just talk about the transition to the CEO role. There are useful categories here. We do need to think about our institution in all of these different ways. But I think when you compare and contrast the document from AACC with the Heffernan video, as an emerging leader, you do have to ask yourself at what point you rock the boat. Is that as you move through the organization or not until you're leading it? And really, are you ever going to be able to move up and be a true leader if you are perfectly agreeable all the time?